And Finch workshop. Question 1 asks, what does Finch say about the impact of sexism on women writers in the poem's first 20 lines? In the first 20 lines, Finch starts off by explaining how men viewed women in a negative way. In lines 9 through 10, alas, a woman that attempts to pin such an intruder on the rights of men. Mackenzie answered, basically what I think that Finch was trying to say was that the more educated women were, the stronger they became in comparison to men. Although women weren't stronger in a masculine sense, the expansion of their knowledge opened them up to bigger and better opportunities, thus making themselves more powerful at the same time. But men at that time were reluctant to accept women as their equals, so those lines really emphasized on how much she disagreed with the men's thought process during that time period. Question 2 asks, in lines 21 through 50, Finch describes what kind of roles women played in ancient biblical times. What kind of attitudes does she show towards these women? Why does she describe them? In other words, what part did these examples of women play in making the poem's argument about what roles women should play? Andrew started off by saying, Anne Finch showed us an attitude of appreciation and admired the women in the Bible. Jasmine adds to this by saying Finch described women who had important roles like artists. Her attitudes towards these women show how Anne Finch is making her point of people's sexist views. This expresses her point more basically, meaning that since these women are good at what they do, they should not be afraid to express it, although they are female. This example is one she chooses to use to show readers that sexism is something wrong and unjust. Question 3 asks, paraphrase the last stanza of the poem. What has Finch decided to do with her poetic talents? Why? How does her decision help make commentary on the social inequalities between men and women? Madeline says Finch decided that she is not going to be like the rest of women in her time. She's going to soar above the rest and do what she wants, which is to write. She knows she has the same right as any man or person to do what she wants and what she does best. She also knows that women before her had made an impact, so why couldn't she? By her making the choice to be different and break from the society norm, she establishes that the social inequalities between men and women are only made that way by society's mind. Question 4 asks, sum up the main point of Finch's poem. In what way does Finch's philosophy qualify her as an early feminist? Andrew says, the philosophy of Anne Finch qualifies her as an early feminist because she is defending women in their right to be equal to men. One of the reasons she qualifies also is she believes in what she writes. She strongly believes women are equal to men and that men should not take that away from women. She's a fighter, and is what makes her an early feminist. Question 5 is a nocturnal reverie. Madeline starts it off by saying, the beginning of this poem is very sweet and smooth. It is a great, outstanding description of nature and all it has to offer. In order to see Finch's feminist ideas hidden in the text, though, you have to read between the lines. In this poem, women seem as though they are the prey and men are the predators, hunting them down. However, there is a catch, as Mackenzie said. Men are afraid that women would be better than them. This is why men would not allow women to learn to read and write. And this scared the women, as Andrew said. It shows us how scared and how much lower women were than men. And Jasmine adds that women were absolutely nothing to men.